Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, and welcome to Leadership Live 2021 with Dr. Renita and friends. I hope that you all are doing amazing. I know that I am. It's been a great day. And hold on, look behind. Did that thing change right there? If you have been watching every week, you realize that my background has changed. I just want you all to know that I have rearranged my office. Praise God. Hallelujah, somebody. Yes, I have. I have rearranged my office and it has changed my life. It has changed my life. And it is so exciting to be in a space where I can feel free, where I can feel creative. And one of the biggest things that I did was clean my office. You know, they talk about spring cleaning. Well, honey, I did that. I spring cleaned. And here we are with my fresh, clean office. And so I'm so excited about that. But for those of you all who have no clue who I am, and this is your first week, and you're like, oh, the background didn't change because it's the only one I've seen. I am Dr. Renita. I am an educational leadership strategist. That means I educate leaders. I work with aspiring and growing leaders to help them become more authentic, to empower their fellowship, and to make a greater impact on the world. I am also a coach. I work with leaders one-on-one, and I love it. That's some of my favorite part of life, helping to grow leaders one-on-one in their own way, just leading like they are. I always encourage them and you too to lead like you. I am also an author. I'm the author of While You Are Sleeping, The Perfect Children of All Ages books, as well as Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs, editions 1 and 2. And if that be the case, that means I am also a wife and a mother. I own 2 children and I birthed 2 children, but all 4 of them are mine. I fed those boys long enough. I own them. But I am also a speaker, a trainer. I am a minister. I am an educator, a veteran educator with 16 years of experience. And I am just so excited to be here with you today. I'm also the founder of The Refining Life, whose mission is to provide you with experiences to have your mindset shifted so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We're going to shift your mindset. We're going to help you be better leaders than you've ever been before. And it is through the power of a topic, honey, called betting on you. Betting on you. And I'm getting ready to introduce you to the woman who chose that topic. She is beautiful. She is fabulous. Let me get her in the screen. Now, just so you know, it's about to be crazy for about 4 seconds. Are you ready? Let's go. We're going to enter that. We're going to take this person away and we're going to add this person. Here we go. Boom, boom, pow, pow. There she is, Sherricka Carpenter Stanley.
Hello, Dr. Renita. How are you this evening, ma'am?
I am doing so fabulous. I'm telling you all, cleaning this office has given me a new lease on life.
I was going to say, I love the office. I mean, I love it. I told you that earlier. I am digging it. The crowns behind it and everything, the whole bookcase. It is you. It is you.
Thank you. And that was the goal. I have 2 amazing women who I'm going to thank publicly, but that's not what this is about tonight. But just so you know, they will get thanked publicly because they helped me to renovate and bring new life to this office. And it has given me a newfound energy. And it has helped me to do what you propose that we talk about tonight. And that is bet on me. So yes. Sherricka, I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to take myself out of the screen and I want you to tell the people a little bit about you and why you chose this topic, betting on you.
Okay, that works. Well, like Dr. Renita said, I am Sherricka Carpenter Stanley. A little bit about me. Let's see. I am a might as well daughter. I always tell people I have to tell the story later on. So Renita, remind me to tell you what I mean when I say I am a might as well daughter. I am a mother of 4 amazing children. You know how biased we are, but one of them is my bonus baby, my ladybug, who I adore. I was there the day she was born, and I have been in her life ever since, and I am blessed to be a part of her life. And then there are 3 amazing children that I birthed. Christopher, who is 20 years old, who called me probably about an hour ago. He's in Florida right now. And he said, Mama, I just wanted to hear your voice. And I was like, ah. I told him that was all I needed for me to do this interview tonight, to be excited about this interview, just to hear his voice, for him to say that he wanted to hear my voice. It blessed my socks off. He is a sophomore at UNC Charlotte. I am the mother of a 14-year-old as well. He is a rising freshman, and he attends Swan Middle School right now. His name is Caden, and he is on his way to Dudley. We have another Dudley Panther in the house. I'm excited about that. And then I have a daughter who's 11 years old. Her name is Skylar Rain, and she's the baby, and she is a sixth grader at Lincoln Academy, and she is a dancer and a singer and all those kinds of things. But I am a proud mother. I am a proud wife to my husband, Chris, who I'll give a whole lot of credit for the opportunity to bet on me. So that'll come a little later. I'm a sister. I'm an auntie. I'm an Aunt Rika. I am a sister-in-law. I'm a daughter-in-law. I am a soror to every woman who has donned the crimson and cream of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I am a classmate to any person that went to Burton Elementary School and Holton Middle School and Hillside High School. I'm a proud graduate. I am a Dermite. So for all those people, I am straight from the Bull City, but that is who I am. I am Reek to some people. I am Sherricka to others. And I'm super excited to be here. I'll say this about betting on you. One of the things when Renita first asked me, when you first asked me about what topic I wanted to do, to be honest with you, Renita, I was in a different space. The betting on you came because I was kind of in the whole, I'm going to show them kind of a space. I'm going to show them. But then it became more of not proving them wrong, but proving me right. And so I think that's where I am more than I ever have been in my life. And ever since then, things started to just line up. And I'm excited about it because I took a huge jump. And I took this jump during COVID. During COVID, I let go of, and I don't know if you want me to go this far, Renita. I don't know if you wanted to say this far, but I'll keep going. I was an educator, just like Renita, for 20 plus years. This would have been my 25th year in education had I kept going. And honey, I have a towel right here because Renita and I were talking about it. I'm having my own personal summer right now. So I got some glitter and some sparkle. So I need to wipe it off a little bit. But I took the chance on jumping from a safe place of being an educator. I was the athletic director as well as dean of students at my old school. I had built that athletic program. I was a teacher there for 5 years, and then I went into administration in those roles, but I still wasn't fulfilled. I remember the first day of school. Not first day of school, but first work day. We were sitting around in a circle, and we were talking. How was your summer? You know how you do when you first get back for a faculty. And we had a small enough faculty that we could sit in a circle. And I remember when it got to me, I said, I dread having to answer this question this year of what did I do this summer and what am I looking forward to this school year? I was okay with telling what I did this summer, but I was starting to be nervous about what I was going to say about what I was looking forward to this school year, because I told them in that moment, I was starting to feel irrelevant. And that was hard for me. That was hard for me to, number one, admit, and then hard for me to say in front of a group of people who I know and who I knew look up to me and come to me for advice and come to my office and relied on me as a leader. For me to say that I felt irrelevant, you should have seen the looks on their faces. And I said, I don't know how long I can do this. And so I said, well, let me see how this school year goes. And the school year went, and there were things that happened and all those kinds of things. And then COVID happened. And so I really had to make a decision because my administrator was like, I'm starting to prep for next year. And he and I had a meeting. I told him, I said, I'm leaning more towards leaving than I am staying. And so when it was time for me to go to him that day that I went, I said, I want to come see you in person. Even though we were having COVID and we were staying socially distanced, this was when we didn't know anything. So this was, April. We didn't know anything. And so I remember going to his office and talking to him and saying, I think I'm done. I think I'm ready to take the leap this time. And when I say that, for years, I had taught students and told my own children, my favorite song is I Hope You Dance. The lyrics say, if you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. But I wasn't dancing. And so it was getting my soul, the me was having a hard time sitting in that space. And so I was like, I got to jump. I got to do it. And my thoughts were, who does this? Who leaves a stable job with benefits and all this kind of thing in the middle of a pandemic? Who does this? And when I had peace leaving that meeting, and I'm a big person with obedience comes peace. That's my mantra. With obedience comes peace. When I left there and I didn't have any regrets, any doubts, anything, I knew I had made the right decision. And I knew it was time to put into practice what I had been telling for years, my students and my children and anybody around me. Go for it, do it, live your dreams, live those things on the inside of you. I knew it was my time. And so I left there, and this was, like I said, April of 2020, and I have not looked back. I have not looked back. So there you go, Dr. Rene. I don't know if you wanted me to tell all of that right out the gate, but
you're good. You've given us a great starting point. Sherricka, thank you so much for your transparency. Okay, so when Sherricka and I met originally, she's actually someone who I met a while ago. We hit it off. So she talks about being from Durham. I'm from Durham. She talks about being a soror. Hello to all the sorors of Delta. We've had those touch points, but we also have two children who have danced together for years. So the whole idea of bringing up, I hope you dance, honey, we're going to touch on it. I can't wait. But the other piece that I've always appreciated about you is that you have no problem telling the story, no problem about being honest, no problem about creating the connection through sometimes pain points. So I appreciate that so much about you. You've always felt like my sister from the beginning. Like I could talk to you about anything.
Yes.
So the honor to have you on here this evening is a huge one, and I'm so glad to share you with my audience. I try my best. I'm an only child. I grew up as an only child, and so being selfish is easy. So I've learned to share, and I do that now. But there are so many amazing things that you touched on, and the idea of betting on you. Both of us are in a season right now where we're choosing to bet on ourselves. Yes. And as leaders, I think it's something that if you are a leader and you are acknowledging that you are a leader, it's something that you have chosen to do because you've chosen leadership. That means at some point in time, you've chosen to bet on yourself enough to lead others.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's important because if you don't believe in you, why would your fellowship, or why should your fellowship believe in you? Yes. So at some point, you must have taken this leap. Great job. Congratulations to all the leaders out there.
Yes.
But the first thing I want to touch on, and I'm going to try to touch on these things as you brought them up, unless we end up connecting earlier, was the idea of fulfillment.
Yes. Yes.
When you're talking about betting on you, and you're going from this season of, for lack of words, to a season of, what was the first sign to you that you weren't fulfilled?
Okay, I can give you this. And what's so funny about it, Renita, is I've had it in different seasons of my life. So when I first started teaching, I had it, and I literally had a bald spot. That's when I first had, my hair was shorter than this. I had a bald spot, probably the size of a 50-cent piece, in the back of my head, where I had worried myself crazy because I wasn't I wasn't realistic about my expectations as an educator. I felt like I could go in there and I could change everybody and everybody was going to learn from me and all these kinds of things. And when you find out that you don't, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. So that was one of the times. I told my husband this just recently. I'm a football fan. If anybody knows me.
And what team would that be, Sherricka?
Honey, I am a Steelers fan and we did good in the draft. So y'all get ready. I cannot wait.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I did not watch the draft, but I knew who was drafted to the Steelers.
Yes.
Why? Because I watched Sherricka's story.
Yes, honey.
She told me the whole thing. If I don't know anybody else who was drafted in the NFL draft, but I know everybody who went to the Steelers. Yes,
everybody who was a Steeler, honey. But yes, I'm a football fan, and here's the irony of it. When that 4 o'clock game would come on, and CBS would start to play that music, my stomach would churn. That was starting to be my sign. Something that gave me so much joy to watch that 4 o'clock game or football, because I could watch any team. I love the Steelers, but I'll watch anybody. Football is my absolute favorite sport. But that music would come on, and Renita, my stomach would churn. And it was because I knew Monday was coming. And I said, I don't want to live I didn't want to live where I was living for Friday. I didn't want to live my life where I was living 3 days a week. Well, not even 3 days, 2.5. Friday when you get off, all the way up to Sunday. And that's really 2 days at this point, right. All the way up to Sunday at 4 o'clock. That's where I was starting to live. And I said, I can't do that. I can't live my life like that. And so it was signs like that. It was signs where another sign, I'll give you another sign. In the classroom, when I say to you, I have the patience of Job, especially with children, and with people too. I probably give people a little bit too much grace sometimes. Okay. That's a whole nother conversation for when you braid my hair. But honey, but yes, when I started to feel my patience not be there with children, and I immediately said, I know I would not want my children to be treated with such little patience by an educator. And so I said, it's time for me to get out of this classroom. There were little signs all along the way that said, now I miss it. I love watching aha moments from a child. I love getting hugs from children. I love when my students hit me on Facebook, or I see them walking into the daycare, because some of them just as old as I am. Walking into children, I love that feeling. I love the feeling of being in front of a classroom and teaching and being able to give from my knowledge of something and make it fun and exciting and not intimidating, because math is an intimidating subject. And so just being able to take away the intimidation for students, I love that stuff. But when it started to wane, I said, you know what? It's time to do something different. And here's the thing. All along, I was writing books. My first book that's sitting over my left shoulder, I wrote that in 2009, Renita. Wow. I wrote Up and Just Right 2009. Skylar was a baby in my arms. She was a baby in my arms. I was putting her to sleep. And the rhythm and the cadence of that started to come. I was like, she fits right on in there.
Look at that.
I was like, look, I said, children fit in our little cracks and crevices, and a thought was born. And I went and I just wrote. And so that's always how I was, from the beginning. But then when I started, the thing that I love of teaching, it just started, those things like that pit in my stomach and all those things started to make it not fun anymore. And that's why I sat in that circle and said, I feel irrelevant. I feel like I wasn't impacting children anymore. And I knew once I did that and I was getting in the way, I said, it's time to go. It's time for fresh blood. It's time for fresh ideas and fresh thoughts to come in and to take over this position. So, but yeah, that's how I knew.
I tell you that that in itself is the sign of a true leader, because true leaders can read the room and they can read themselves. Yes. And they understand that there's a season and a time for everything. And sometimes it's going to be your time to go, which is why when I'm teaching and I'm coaching or I'm working in groups, especially of leaders who are seasoned but growing. I do believe that seasoned leaders can still grow.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things we talk about is succession planning. Because
Mm,
if you have not been preparing for your exit, you are doing a multitude of things. You are one, getting yourself stuck
yeah.
because you can never be replaced. And if you're irreplaceable, that means you got to stay where you are. Who wants to do that? Oh, people who are okay and complacent and being where they are. Two, you are refusing to allow whatever entity you are leading to grow because you want it to always be you at the helm. And if you are always there, that means it's never getting anything fresh, never getting anything new. You're not allowing a new leader to lead. Even if you are still there should still be other leaders in your midst. Leadership produce leaders. That should be your fruit. But then also, you're being selfish.
Yeah.
There are so many people who
Yeah.
need other people. And
Yeah.
if you never allow them to get them, then you're being selfish. You
Yeah.
should be succession planning. You should be teaching other people what you do. And you're also, if you're not, you're choosing not to allow yourself to grow to your next level. If you're
Yeah.
still here, there's more for you to do. And you can't go do anything else because you're stuck doing this because you never taught anybody else your ancient Chinese secrets. That's what I used to call them. You, I need you to know what's in my little sandbox. Maybe I got a little box. This is not a little box. Here you go. Here go my little box. Here go
Yeah.
my box. This is my box, and in this box are all my secrets. I need to open that box up sometimes. This is not Pandora's box. This is the box of excellence. And let me pour this
Yes.
and hand this to you, and I'm gonna hand this to you, and I'm gonna hand this to you, and I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna put it out there. Now, should you choose not to listen to it, that's on you. But because I am determined to feel fulfilled and not feel irrelevant, because when you've overstayed your welcome, when you've overstayed your time, that irrelevant feeling will come. So you just did you get some? You better start delving that stuff out so that other people can take whatever's in them and attach it to what you've done. This is not to erase you.
Yes.
This is to build upon the foundation you've laid.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you didn't start it, you started on somebody else's foundation. But if you did, it's okay. It is time for whatever you built to grow. Let
Yeah.
it grow. Let go and let grow. That's what happens. So I think about even as a parent, there
Mhm.
will come a time when you will start to feel irrelevant.
Yes.
You'll
Yeah.
start to feel unfulfilled. I have a 22-year-old son who is supposedly graduating next weekend.
Have you gotten the gown yet?
He promises he ordered it. He promises he got it stolen. He ordered it late. So that might be why we don't have it yet. But I believe it when I see it. I love him. He's my favorite oldest son, but I'm going to believe it when I see it.
When you
But I'm
see it,
feeling
yes.
irrelevant in some areas of his life because it's time for him to go and grow.
Mhm.
And I have prayerfully succession planned enough. I have shown him how to do things.
That's
How
right.
do you clean the toilet, son? Good job. How do you clean the dishes? I got you. How do you fold your clothes? I've got you. How do you clean up your room? How do you pay rent? Because I have helped him learn how to do that too. Yes, I have. How do you do these things? Because my goal is to have succession planned enough, my portions of your life, that you can go and handle it yourself, and that be your foundation, and you build on it.
That's right. That's right.
Leaders exist in all kinds of places.
Yeah.
But when you're feeling unfulfilled, when you're feeling irrelevant, it is probably time
It,
for you to move, or at least nudge enough out of the way to allow somebody else to come up and lead with you.
and it was time. And it's so funny. I was right. When you started talking, I'm one of those. I said I have to jot it down because I will forget it. But you said irreplaceable. You talked about being selfish and all those things. The job that the position I just left, like I said, athletic director, I built it from the ground up. He looked at me, administrator looked at me and said, Sherricka, I want athletics. I said, okay, let's do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I love sports, and let's roll. So
And
I
you
did.
are an athlete.
Yeah, yes. But what I did, when I say to you one, from day one, my head coach, every day he was in my office, and I looked at him and I said to him, I said, we are going to walk through this together because I'm not going to be here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. I want you to see how I do it. I want you to see how it's done. I want to hold you accountable. I want you to hold me accountable, because when something goes wrong, I'm coming to you. When something goes wrong, you're coming to me. We're going to walk through this thing together. I want your suggestions. I want your input. You're the one that's going to be the head coach for all of these sports, all these things. But when I say to you, I did that very thing. So when I left, all I did was hit send on the folder of all the little stuff that I had created. And I said, you take it from here. And I knew it was in good hands. Same thing with the position that I was in the students. Same thing. I all along, me and one of the administrators, we used to plan stuff together. And it was so funny is I went over there the other day for a baby shower. And the first thing she said to me when she was hugging me, she said, "Oh my God, you don't know how many times I wish you were here to do this or that, because this was your lane." But I gave her, I hit that same folder, send. Here's everything I did. You know how I did it. You know how I set things up, and I put the details here and this and that. And she was able to roll with it because I didn't want to be selfish. And there were times, and watch this, there were times where I felt like I got prideful, like they aren't gonna, it's not gonna work without me here, but it does.
But it does.
And it is, and it's working. And I had to get beyond myself. I didn't feel like that was me having one of those, prideful moments. It wasn't something I did all the time. But you are so right. Leaders aren't selfish. You want to see other people lead. I didn't. There were so many times where I didn't want to take the credit for any of that. I wanted the people that were in front of me to shine. I want those students to shine. It wasn't about me. It was never about me, but I didn't want to be selfish. Because I could have stayed where I was. I could have easily stayed. I mean, as a matter of fact, in my exit interview, they were like, "You sure? You sure? Are you sure? Are you sure this, Sherricka, are you sure? Just, we want to check. We just want to be." And I was like, "Yes, I'm sure," because I understood what I brought to the table, but I also understood what I wanted to do over here. I knew what I brought to the table here, but I knew my season was up. I understand seasons. I really do. I understand Ecclesiastes. There's a time, Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time for everything. And I knew my time was up. And like I said, I had I was obedient to his timing. Because when I say to you, throughout the 8 years I was there were plenty of times where I wanted to leave.
Right.
Times. And I said I was leaving. Wrote resignation letters, all of that. I was like, girlfriend, hey, nah. That's you. That's you in your flesh.
Right.
That's you in your flesh. You upset. You in your feelings right now. You have other things that I need you to do. I'll let you know when it's time for you to go. I'll make it so uncomfortable for you that you'll know that it's time for you to go, because sometimes we'll stay a little too long,
And sometimes though, even when you stay in your discomfort, because I've been there,
yes,
God will find an exit strategy for you that you did not plan.
Yep.
And things have been going great. I was cracking up. I was reading some notes from the year. Like, this was probably 2 weeks before I was told I was being downsized. And it was all these plans we'd had for the years to come. And those were the discussions. Those were notes from my meeting with my executive director. And like 2, maybe 3 weeks later, I got the call saying I was going to be downsized out. Not because, I had a great record. Everybody loved me. Things were going wonderfully.
Right.
And I got that call, and I felt so relieved. I felt great. I was 5 months pregnant and walking into the unknown. We were about Elsa life, straight into the unknown. And he was like, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." "Are you okay?" "I'm good." 5 months pregnant, heading to a conference and finding out that I was not going to be working in the job I had become so accustomed to. I've been there for 5 years. And did I know what was next? Hecky balls, no. And that's okay. Okay, jump in this flight. I'll see y'all when I get back. It just becomes something, and I was staying. I had quit that job at least 3 times. I packed up my office. I had, at one point in time, I had staff members helping me pack up my office. I quit it. And then for some week, I just keep going back. Like, God would tap me on the shoulder. Sometimes God would have a person come tap me on the shoulder and say, "You're not really leaving. You're ready to flesh, but there's still more of your assignment here. Your assignment is
Yes.
not complete. So you're
Yeah.
going to stay. And when I say go, you'll go. And then he was saying go, and I still wasn't going. So he
Yeah.
said, oh, you're going to go. And you're going to trust me, and you're going to walk, and you're going to, you're going to have this faith walk. And I think it was a moment when I had an opportunity to bet on myself, and I got scared and didn't. I pulled back. I
Yes.
went to do something
Yes.
else that was
Uh-huh.
comfortable. And then it got so uncomfortable in that, and I realized that it was a situation they weren't planning on letting me go. And it was supposed to be temporary. That was
Mhm.
my safety net. I was betting on me a little.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
but
Yes.
then
Yes.
it
Yes.
came to
Yes.
a point where I said, I'm going to bet on me a lot. And I intentionally, it was like, y'all, I cannot keep doing this. You're going to have to find somebody else. I'm glad to have helped you here, but I'm going to move on. And I said, I'm going to bet on me. And I got in a situation where betting on me got tough. And I had
Yes.
another opportunity to have a safety cushion and took it. And then took an even bigger safety cushion. But God is creating that opportunity once again where that cushion is being taken away, not because, I've done anything wrong. The
Right.
grace is ending. I'm going to have to do something different. And so I'm going to have to bet on me again.
Right.
And this time, I feel like I might actually really be ready for it. To really bet on me because I've had all these leadership experiences. I've gotten new leadership experience. He's allowed me to learn new things. So when I'm coaching somebody, I can say, oh, I get it. I've been there, done that. And if I
Yes.
had some of these other experiences, I wouldn't know. But I'm
Yeah.
going to bet on me. So I'm going to do what you did. And we're
Yes.
going to talk about this leap of yours. And you said you decided to leap. You were leaping in a pandemic,
Yes.
leaping into the unknown, leaping into hope, but also leaping into peace.
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about this leap. What was your bet on you?
Woo. My bet on me was that this was going to work, that I was going to be a full-time author. That was my bet. My bet was, you know what, Sherricka, you are creative. You have all these stories on the inside of you, and it was goals. You had these goals. You've written them down. Now let's go for it. Let's go for it because in the beginning, when I started to leap, Renita, I like you, I got scared. When I say to you, I got scared because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I said, I'm going to seek out wise counsel. And there were three people that I sought out to that I knew had written books. I said, okay, I'm going to call Renita. I'm going to call Joelle. I got to call these names because I want to thank them publicly. I've done it plenty of times, but I want to thank them publicly. I called you. I said, girlfriend, I need to know everything you know about writing a book because I have no idea what I'm doing. And this was in April of 2020, last year. I called Miss Carolyn Williams, who was my coach's wife in high school. I knew she had written a book. And then I called Jawada Williams, who played basketball with my brother at Carolina. I knew he had written a book. I said, okay, tell me everything y'all know because I have zero idea what I'm doing. The other thing that I did too, after I sought the counsel from you all and everything, I started to put it out there. Because what I used to do is hide it, Renita. I used to hide what I really wanted to do and really wanted to be. I would hide it because I don't want anybody to be like, what? You want to do what? You okay, Sherricka, yeah. We know you can do, this and that, but and so I would hide it from people. But what I realized is I can't hide it. I have to put it out there so that I can be held accountable. Because if I don't put it out there, then I will retreat. I will. I'll fall back and I'll fall back into the
Because
shadows.
nobody knew you were going to do it anyway.
Nobody knew I was going to do it anyway. So it wasn't any accountability. And I need to back up just a little bit more. I'll tell you what I did even before I called y'all. You probably don't even remember this, but this was back in January of 2020. I interviewed Gina.
Yes,
Rob,
I do remember that. Yes,
I
yes.
asked.
And you know what? I remember leaving rehearsal that night.
Yes.
Doing?
And you know what? When I was coming, you were working the office, and I would not really say what I was doing. Again, I was like, I was hiding it. I was hiding it. But I'm gonna tell you what I did. That was even a leap of faith then, because that was in December of 2019 that I said, okay, because I had the feeling. I told you it was Sunday afternoons. the pit of my stomach, getting churning, being sick, and not wanting to not looking forward to Mondays. So I knew there was just this unease. There was
Right.
unease. So I was like, I got to do something different. So I emailed them in December. And when I say to you, shaking in my boots to hit send, I was like, okay, here we go. And I hit send and I said, I'm going to ask you. I said, will y'all allow me to interview you and just write your story? And
And
that's
it
what
was beautiful.
and I wrote that I wrote it in, well, no, I interviewed them in January and I made it where it came out when Prince of Egypt came out, when
Mm-hmm.
Let My People Go came out. And so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to coincide with that. And so that was the first time that I said, okay, I'm gonna put myself out here and really kind of let people know. And I was still telling Gina and them, don't tell nobody, you know, don't tell anybody, don't. And I even told them as I was interviewing them and all this, I said, this is not what I really want to do. I want to do children's books. I want to do this. I said, but I want to, at least get my writing skills back up. I want to get back into writing.
Right.
And so it was little things along the way that I started to do because I had to realize accountability is big.
Right.
When you put it out there, that you're not, that it was another time when I put out my Facebook page and I put out my Instagram in November and it was like author Sherricka. I was like, ooh, shaking in my boots. Like, here we go. There's no turning back now. It's like, there's no turning back now. And once I did that again, I gotta say, the entire time I was at peace, even though I was shaking in my boots, I was doing it afraid. Joyce Meyer, I think she has a book called Do It Afraid. And I was doing it afraid because it was uncharted territory. Even though I knew you guys had done it, I didn't know all the ins and outs. But I'll tell you what happened. God is so intentional that he started setting that thing up, Renita. He made it where stuff started coming on my timeline. That's how I found the group that we're in for authors, the group that changed my life, took that master class and was able to do that master class. I mean, that, and I look, so you see those kinds of ads on your timeline all the time. I was like, and I don't even know what inclined me to even hit, let me see what more about it. I don't even know, but I know now, looking back on it, that was God's intention. I mean, he weaves that thing together so intricately that you look back on it, you're like, okay, I see what you're doing, God. I like it. I like it.
You might be good at what you do.
You might be a little good at what you do. You might know a little something, just a little.
You might know a little some of all things.
Of all things.
All things.
Yes. So just taking that leap, I haven't regretted it, not one bit. It has been, there's a glimmer in my eye that I remembered having at 17 years old. That I feel like is back. That 17-year-old it's a picture that's right here on my left shoulder that I took for Moorhead Scholarship to go to Carolina. And I remember that 17-year-old and I remember thinking at that time, I'm going to be on the cover of Essence by the time I'm 30. I'm going to have this thing. When I say to you, I had my life, I felt like I was on that trajectory. And so I things happen like life does. Life happens. But now I feel like I'm back on. It's funny how God will take you on detours or whatever, but he always gets you right back on.
Absolutely.
where he had you going from the start. And so I'm excited. Again, I don't regret not 1 minute of it, not 1 minute at all. It has been one of the best decisions I've ever made to just jump and just believe it. And I said I was going to come back to this. I said I was going to come back to this. I got to give, to God be the glory. That's one. But I also have to thank my husband. I mean, financially, I would not have been able to jump had he not had us in position to do that. I always tell people all the time, I say, him and God do his thing when it comes to finances. That's they do their thing. They really do. So it allowed me to really have a safety net a little bit. But one of the things that I had to do to really bet on me was I had to go and exhaust retirement. It's like, if you really gonna do this and you betting on you, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Come on, are we really betting on you, or are you just saying you're betting on you? So there were so many things that I had to do, but I have to publicly thank him. You know, I privately thank him, but I have to publicly thank him for being that we have not lacked anything during this time for me to be able to go after this. Had he not put us in position financially, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing as a family, as a unit, you know, all those things. So I have to thank him for that. Like I said, him and God, they do their thing. They did. And here I come. I'm gonna do mine too. I'm gonna do my due part too.
Well, I will tell you, you are doing an amazing job. You're doing amazing things. You have, you came to me with a question, but I thank God for you because you have opened my eyes to things because you're looking at it differently. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, Renita, jump on this. Here you go a message. Renita, do that. Renita, here's this. And I'm like, yes. Check. Sherricka said, oh, there's something. Fill that out. Join that group. Yeah. Because, I didn't enter authorhood strong. I say all the time, my first book, which is Stepmom Trials and Tribulations, edition 1. A lot of people haven't heard of it, or they just heard of it like if they heard me speak somewhere and they would buy a book there. I said, I sucked the first time out. That's why there's an edition 2. I added a chapter, yes, but there's a second edition because I just didn't do a good job. I've done better, but I know I could do greater. But then I realized these books still got legs. They're not going anywhere. What am I doing? Get your life together, self. Okay, I'm going to stop tripping. All right. Sometimes you got to lead you. Because sometimes the person we do the worst at leading is ourselves. Yes. So you got to lead you. So I thank you for your leap, for continuing to encourage me in my leap. Because that's something that I think that leaders, we need to understand. You may help in a journey for somebody else, but don't be afraid to allow that person to help you in your journey. That can be a reciprocal process. Yes. It doesn't have to be one way. It's great when leaders can help leaders.
Yes. And I will say this, it's so funny that you said that the reciprocity, Renita, because that has happened. That has happened. The people that have helped me, I've in turn, because it's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I've never been the type that I hoard information. I've never been that person. I never, because I believe there's enough out here for all of us to eat. Your shine don't stop my shine.
It just makes it brighter.
It just makes it brighter. And so I've never been one of those. And I have had that happen. And it has been such a blessing. It has been such a blessing because the thing about it is I end up getting blessed because of it, because I didn't hold back that information, because I did share it or did reveal or say, hey, join this or do that this way, because I'm still learning. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know it all, but I'm willing to share every bit of it that I know.
Yep.
Every bit of it that I know, I'm willing to share it with anybody. And you'll be surprised. Once I did that, how many people came to me and said, Sherricka, I wanted to write a book. I had this idea and I had that idea. What did you do? I'm like, okay, come on, let's have lunch. Right. Let's talk about it. I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you everything I did. First, join this group and be a fly on the wall and just start to watch. And then after that, write. I know it sounds simple, but write.
Oh, so, no, that's the hardest, simplest thing on the planet. When you're writing a book, to actually write it and not just think about it. Yes. I wrote my book because my line sister called me. And she said, I'm thinking about doing this. Are you writing a book? I said, I thought about it. She said, great, start writing.
Right.
I said, oh.
Okay. Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Write it?
But because of her urging, that was in maybe February, March, April, somewhere around there. September of that same year, my book was published in people's hands.
See?
Because she was leading me and helping me to learn to lead myself and giving me ideas and skills that I didn't know I could exhaust. Put out there, even in myself. And then, that was my job. At that point, I need to tell somebody else. So I was going through that experience. So to tell somebody else when they're ready to bet on them, when they're ready to write that book, they're ready to put their information out there. Then my job is to give my testimony. This is what I do. You can do it too. Yes. If I can do, I say all the time, if I can do it, anyway.
Yes.
That's not.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not that special.
I didn't do anything special. Yeah, I tell people the same thing. I'm like, I didn't do anything special. And trust me, you can do the exact same thing. I'll walk you through it and let's go. Let's do it together because I understand how tough it is to jump sometimes because
Right.
we'll come up with every excuse in the world because, you know, it's easy to just be complacent and like, you know, it'll be okay. But I remember, you know, I remember my old pastor used to say it all the time, the richest, and I think it wasn't even him that did this originally. I think it was like Miles Monroe or someone that said the richest place on earth is the graveyard because we die with those ideas. The richest
Absolutely.
place on earth is not, it ain't all these other places that we think about. It's the graveyard because think about how many ideas and books and designer clothes and new cell phones and all these kinds of creations and paintings and dances and all these kinds of songs that died with them
Right.
because they were afraid to jump or something happened or whatever. We don't know. There are circumstances that cause all different things
Right.
to happen. But you know, that's one of the things, my prayer is that I leave here empty. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to do, Lord, let me do it.
Right.
Let whatever I'm supposed to give to this world and you birthed on the and you put on the inside of me, whatever gift I'm supposed to give, I want to give it back because that's my gift to you. It's
Absolutely.
my gift to you. So, but yeah.
Well, Sherricka, let's move from the idea of leaping because
Yes,
we've
ma'am.
left, we've jumped,
Yes.
and then we talk about the idea of dancing. You know,
Uh-huh.
so which I think that that happens after the leap
Yes, it
because
does.
you can leap and land, or
Uh-huh.
you can leap, land, and dance. Like
Yes, honey.
you have to go. You know, that's a choice beyond the jump.
Yes.
Now I'm choosing to dance. So I Hope You Dance is also one of my favorite songs. One of my I
Favorite.
love the Leanne Rhymes, but I love to hear Yolanda Raven sing it. And she actually
Oh,
sang it during the Arts-a-thon. And I did it on purpose.
oh,
We played Song
I gotta go back and
Association.
listen to that.
Yes. So we played Song Association. And I think I'm pretty sure that it was the last word I gave her. And I did it on
Ooh,
purpose because I wanted to hear her sing it. But also because we needed to talk about some things. But, you know, I hope you dance. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder.
yes.
You know, if you have the choice to sit it out or
Sit
dance,
it out. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope you dance.
Yeah.
And to go to that place of dancing,
Yes.
what does the dance look like for you and when you're betting on you?
Whoa, that's a great question, Renita. That's a that's a great question. Um, for me right now, the dance looks like me being unafraid to try anything. I have I've done pop-up shops. I've done little videos. I've done all kinds of, I've tried a little bit of everything with this little book behind me. I've tried everything. I put myself out there more. I've gone to kindergarten classes and put myself in front of little people. And you know how little people are. They are not. I remember I was doing, this is so funny. I got to tell this story. I was doing a virtual story time. And the first thing, it was a kindergarten class. The first thing the little boy said, "Why your wall pink?"
Can we discuss your ambiance? Why is your wall pink?
I was like, I said, "Baby, I promise you, it's not pink." I said, "It might look like it, but it's not pink." But just being able to be unafraid to just try anything and to do anything. There's something about dancing when you dance like nobody's looking. You know, when you dance like somebody's looking, then you make sure you do it right. When you dance
Mm-hmm.
like nobody's looking, you just go with the flow. You
It
just go
doesn't
to,
matter.
and you lose yourself. You really do lose yourself. People can hear you. This is my child. This is my why is my child in the background? Skylar, they can hear you.
I would say she's made it home, hasn't
She has
she?
made it home. And they can really hear you, Pumpkin. But
Hello,
anyway,
Skylar.
is Miss Renita said hello. Now stop. Go. Oh, sorry, America.
This is real life.
This
This is
is real
interviewing
live
in
TV.
2021.
real life too. But what happens when you're dancing and you don't worry about it, you just really do lose yourself in it. I had someone tell me that the other day. Um, it's a project that I'm working on. And I was talking to him and he said, you know, Sherricka, he said, I'm going to give you everything you need. He said, then after that, I just want you to lose yourself. And when he said that, it resonated so big with my spirit because I knew he meant you and God go do that thing, girl. And don't look back. Don't question it. Don't overthink it. Because I'm an overthinker. I overthink a whole bunch of stuff. And so if I don't overthink it, just let it flow. And then it will come. It will come. And it's something, and that's the same way. That's what dancing feels like. It's this ebb and this flow. And it's a freedom. It's a liberating feeling to be able to just do it and just try it. And even if it does not work, I tried it and I could check it off and say, okay, cool. Okay. That didn't work. Did that. Okay, let's try it this way. And so now when I tried a different way, it's like, okay, this works. Okay, that felt right. I mean, I did my first pop-up shop and I found out different things. It's like, okay, next time, Sherricka, you need to have this. You need to have that. Call your t-shirt person. Make sure you have these kinds of things. It's like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm learning it now. But you just letting it go and losing yourself in everything and just really trusting. I was going to a place the other day to sell my book. And as I was walking in, I said, okay, I looked back. I said, goodness and mercy, y'all back there? Y'all got my back? I said, okay, Favor, you walking in the door first. I was like, Favor, you got us in the front. I said, goodness and mercy got us in the back. Here we go. True story, Rita. Walk in, go up to the people. And as soon as I'm walking up to the people and I'm starting to talk to this lady, here comes one of my son's mom, one of my son's friend's mother. She walks up. I said, girl, I didn't know you work here. She said, yeah. I said, well, listen, I'm looking for the store manager. She said, you want me to call her? I said, I sure do. And I just looked up. I was like, God, look at you. Just in that moment of me walking in, right before I walked in, all I did was say, Favor, you got us in the front. Goodness and mercy, y'all following me? Okay, I'm good. Here we go. Let's go. Immediately God showed me, he was like, I got you. And whatever comes of it, even if nothing comes of it, Renita, even if they never put my book in that store, that was a tangible reminder to me that he's like, I got you. Right. As long as you trust me in this journey, you are going to be okay. I'm going to show up. I promise you. And I'm going to show up in a way that you know it's me. And that's always my prayer, even with my children. When they're having a tough day, I'll pray. And they say that, I'll pray it over them. And I say, Lord, you show up in a way that they know it's you. Yes. That they know it's you in their own kind of way. And that's what he's done. That's what dancing looks like. It's a freedom. It's obedience. It's peace. Mm-hmm. I don't even know any other way. It's joy. It's like, you know what? I have bad days and I have days where I doubt myself. Oh my God. Like, girl, what are you doing? You ain't sold the book yet. You know, you look at your sales, people think you're selling because they see you on Facebook or Instagram every day. I'm like, right. Oh, y'all see me on there. You're liking my post. Go buy my book. But the book. Just go buy the book. just go buy it. If you would do that for me, please, that'd be very nice. If you don't buy it for yourself, right. Buy it and give it for somebody else, please. Sherricka Carpenter Stanley.com. That's what it is. If you see the name on here, Sherricka Carpenter Stanley.com. Yes. And we are on Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. We're in some independent stores. I need to throw that on out there. But yes, honey. Yes, and you can get the book. Yes. Well, after you go there, go to RenitaWeb.com, DRRENITAWEBB.com/books. Yes, there for you to purchase. Go get both of them. So at this point, you should now have 3 books that you can get in hand and one on pre-order because Sherricka got a pre-order book out there. That's right. So there are 4 books you should have coming to your home sooner than later. Yes, honey. Those purpose them. I'm going to put it in the comments. I just can't right now because technically production won't let me do it. So that's right. It will be put up here for you. 4 books on you
If you already have them, that's all right. You can order another one.
That's
Well, here
right.
we go. So, Sherricka, I wanted to touch on something before we run out of time because we're almost at time.
Yes, ma'am.
The idea of dancing and losing yourself. I
Hmm.
want to extend that
Okay.
to go from dancing and losing yourself in the dance. But I think that sometimes we have to lose ourselves to find ourselves.
Yes.
Sometimes you get so lost and then you discover you.
Hmm.
We get so caught up and we need to lose who we are now, who we used to be, in order to find who we can become.
Yes.
So I encourage everybody out there, lose yourself in the dance of life so
Hmm.
much to the point where you discover who you are.
Hmm.
Find the new you, finding the real you. Bet the you need to bet on is in there. But
Yes.
sometimes you can't find it because you're too busy and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2. You better you
Uh-huh.
better feel
Mm,
it.
mm, mm.
You- my lose myself music is usually reggae or reggaeton. Because I studied abroad in Barbados, so now I really think I'm something. But even like the 90s, not
Yes,
real
right,
reggaeton, it's
girl.
probably real reggaeton, but it's not reggaeton like anymore. But my favorite jam song, and I really lose myself, and it's probably foolish. It's a few of them, but we'll go with this one. It's sorry.
Yeah. And say,
Yes, I will lose it. And sometimes I find myself, I have created choreography and I can remember it. Boom, boom, chum, 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 chum. And so I found something new in the losing of myself. In
yeah.
our life, in our leadership walk, in our life walk, bet on you to the point where you enjoy whatever you're in so much that you discover new things about you. You
Yes.
find
Yes.
new things about yourself because in that even can come joy. Allow
Mhm.
yourself to lose some of the things that used to be you. Let that thing go in the den. Let it go. Let
Yes.
it go. Maybe you thought you had to do things certain way. Now close your eyes and lose yourself in the dance of life to the point where you let go of
Yes.
some things and you find new things about yourself. Because
Yes.
leaders, you need to be finding new yous
Yes.
regularly, new
Yes.
pieces of you regularly. You need to be showing that risk sometimes can bring great reward,
Yes.
but it won't bring it if you never risk it, if you never let go of anything. That could include a position, that could include some of your power, because
Mhm.
sometimes as leaders we get power hungry.
Mhm.
When you hoard power, letting go of some of that things, handing it off, letting somebody else have it. Oh, now my first love, my first dance style was African, and so that's probably where I feel my most free. Let's be real. And I hear
That's that Chuck Davis coming up.
hey,
That's that Chuck Davis.
hello. Bull City, stand up. I saw Carolyn Monks put that up there earlier. She said, Bull City, stand up. I am from the Bull City. And if you're from the Bull City and you did African dance, 9 times out of 10, at some point, Baba Chuck was in your life. And you just
Yes.
have to let it go. And you find yourself just hitting it. Don't let a good Bonte bar happen. And it's Kwanzaa at the Armory. And they
Right.
drum. Sometimes you'll be sitting down and you'll find yourself getting up. And you just go ahead and you let it go. And
Yes,
sometimes you
honey.
realize you can do dance moves you didn't know you knew how to
Yes.
do. And you just let it go and you discover that new thing and you have that new thing and you embrace that new thing and you find a new joy. You find a new
Yes.
peace. You're obedient to the movement. You're obedient to the moment. You're obedient to the things that were given to you. And you let go of those other things and those other people can have it. Or they can
Yes.
just go
Yes.
away because maybe they're not needed any longer. But when you're
Yeah.
betting on you, dance into
Mhm.
new you. Dance
Yeah.
into that thing that you jump to. Dance, leap, land, and dance. Feel it. I
Yes.
think that's one of the most beautiful sentiments. That if
Yes.
you
One
leap,
of the things that I'll say is you will find out that you are the most amazing person that you know. That's
hallelujah.
what'll happen. That's what exactly what'll happen. You'll find out that you are the most intriguing person that you know. You're like, whoa, girl, I didn't even know you knew that. Or I didn't know you like that. You mean to tell me you like that? You mean to tell me it's okay to say no? You can say no and it's all
Let me
right.
tell you,
And
that
no is
could
a
be a
sentence
2 minute,
all by itself. It's a
that could be
sentence
a
all by
20
itself.
minute episode of Leadership Live. It's okay to
Yes,
say no. Woo! That's a
you can
testimony.
say no to some things, and it's okay without an explanation. Oh my
No is a
gracious.
complete sentence.
Complete sentence all by itself. But one of the things I found I am learning as you peel back those layers,
Yes.
learning what I love again, learning what I won't tolerate again, learning what I do,
Mhm.
what I want in my space, and who I want around me. And it's okay to love people from a distance, and it's
Yep.
okay to to let go of that friendship, and it's okay to pull in that friendship a little bit more, and it's
Mhm.
okay to not talk to that person. There, it's all right. It's
It's all right.
okay. It's okay. And one of the things that I'm just learning more and more about myself and falling more and more in love with me, because that's the most important. I just saw that somewhere else. That's the most important relationship that I'll ever have.
Right.
My relationship with God and my relationship with me.
Mhm.
Because the overflow of that is what everyone else will get.
Right.
That's what my husband will get. That's what my children will get. That's what my friends and my nieces and my nephews and my brother and my sister, that's what they'll get. My mother, my great uncles, that's what they'll get. They'll get the overflow of my joy of the relationship that I have with God first and with
Mhm.
me. Those are the
Amen.
most important ones. And so
Mhm.
that's what I'm starting to discover more of, because for so long on that list, it was God, everybody else, and then Sherricka,
Uh-huh.
wait.
Mhm.
And I started to say, you know what? I gotta change this thing a little bit. And the thing about it too is you gotta have to tell people this. When you start to do that, it's going to make some of the people that are around you a little uncomfortable, because they're used to God, them, and then you. They're used
Mhm.
to that. They're like, wait a minute, wait, what? Well, hold on. Who's this new person?
Right.
And I'm like,
Don't go getting brand new.
don't get brand new.
Leaders. Hey, y'all hear me? Go get brand new.
Go, yes.
Go get
And
brand
like,
new.
not even go get brand new. Just be who you authentically are.
Right. But the thing
And
is, some of us have to go get new for that.
we do.
Because we're so it's especially sometimes, as servant leaders. I'm a
Yes,
servant leader. That's how I acknowledge myself, that I my job is to take care of you and to spoil you and you, that I forget to take care of me. And
yes.
so then I'm doing what everybody says you can't pour from an empty cup. And I found myself sometimes that's how dry my cup was.
Renee. Yes, I did that. I did that so much so that, like I said, remember I talked about the ball spot. I talked about the churning, all those kinds of things. I really was pouring from a very, very empty well, oftentimes, and that is not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy. It's not wise. And it's not even the way that God said he wants you to live life. He says, I want you to have life and live it abundantly to the overflow. He didn't say from a dry well. He said from
Right.
overflow. From
Right.
overflow. So that's one of the things that I had to learn. And that's hard when, like you said, when you're a servant leader.
Mhm.
That's hard. It's hard when you're used to serving others and putting others first, because you love people, you love them. But if you love them, you got to love you first,
Right. But
because
also be
you're
the
teaching them
example
how
of
to love
how
you.
they should love.
Yes.
Don't teach other people to learn love from like emotional poverty.
Right. Yes, honey. Yes.
They need to learn how to love from abundance.
Abundance.
You may not have all the money in the world, but you got plenty of joy. You got
Yes.
plenty of peace. You got plenty of knowledge and gifts and talents and things that will pour into you. But if you are impoverished emotionally,
Yes.
impoverished in your sleep and your self-care, you're teaching other people that they should love from lack.
Yes. Yep.
And as leaders, we shouldn't do that.
Yep.
Teach them how to do what you know is right
Yes.
and be
Yes.
the example of that.
Yes. I just saw something that said, teach your children what you learn late, teach it to them early. And that's one
Amen.
of the things that I do now. I try to teach it, instill those kinds of things in my children now, because
Mhm.
I know the things that I'm learning at 47. I was going to say 46. I just turned 47.
Let me
At
tell you
40,
my new age. I'm about to have to write it down.
girl, I got to get used to this chapter 47.
Mine is a month plus. Well, no, yeah, a month plus. We're a month plus in. I still can't remember how old I am.
Did you have to, I was going to say, did you have to think about
Yeah,
it?
I was like, what day is it? It's May. It's been over a month since I've been this new
Yes.
number.
But I'm trying to teach them those things early and to enjoy where they are in every season of their life. Every season, enjoy it. And I gotta say that this season that I'm in right now, I heard one day we were sitting in the teacher's lounge and I was talking with some coworkers, and one of the teachers said, I'm convinced the Proverbs 31 woman did not do all of that in one season of her life.
Amen.
Renita, I
Amen.
immediately ran to my Bible and wrote that down. You don't know how freeing that was for me, because I was living at that time. I was living my life in such a way that I was like, I got to be this, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to be this, thinking I had to be all of this woman, this Proverbs 31 woman at one time. And I'm like, no.
No,
And
ma'am.
she was like, she was that in different seasons of her life. I was like, I can breathe. Thank you.
You have set me free today.
You set me free. And she didn't even realize it because she flippantly said it, but it was Rhema for me. It was a light bulb moment that I said, okay, Sherricka, slow down. And listen to how he's going to order your footsteps, and then start to follow that. Right. And I remember just exhaling, Renita, because I was like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to be this, I got to be that. And I'm like, she didn't do all of that in one season of her life.
And she didn't do it all in one day.
And not all in one day. And that's one of the things that I've had to even learn on this journey, because I get so excited and I see this author doing that, and I see that author doing that, and I see all these things, and he has to remind me, you need to still run your race. It's okay that you study other people's playbooks. It's okay, because I'm a sports girl. It's okay to watch film.
Hello, we all watch film.
It's okay to watch film. But when we get in the game, I need you to play your position. I need you to run your race. I need you to be creative like you. I need you to put your spin on it. Like my family says, put that reek on it. My family says,
girl, what if she don't put some reek on it? I would like to thank you, family, because that's a good one. Put some reek on it.
That's it. It's like, go ahead, put that reek on it. And I know exactly what that means. It means I have to do it my way. I have to totally do it my way. I can't do it like anybody else. And like I said, yeah, I can study other people's playbook and I can watch film and grab things from them. But at the end of the day, I have to do it exactly how he needs me to do it.
Right.
Because otherwise, I'm not running my race.
Absolutely.
I'm not running my race. And I'm not going to have peace that way. And so I'm learning on this journey that I'm in that it's a marathon and not a sprint. Because I want to come out the gate. I want to sell this many books and sell that many books and all this kind of stuff. And then you do that first day, those first few days when I came, I was like, yes, honey. And then like 2 weeks later, it was like,
no, honey.
No, honey. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Ain't nobody thinking about you, Sherricka.
But you know what? I think about how many books I bought that are like old, like they're classics because they're still around. But like I caught The Alchemist probably 800 years after it was written, and that's my book. I love The Alchemist. But
that's so great, because we're going to do that as a book club, as a family. We're going to do The Alchemist as a book, as a family.
So good. I don't know if any more of my family would roll with me, but I know I did. I love that book, but I caught it so late. And so, that helped me, and it helps me even remember, okay, so maybe my book is not selling the way I want to now. That doesn't mean that it's not time.
That's right. That's right.
So like Dr. Ellison said, steps, stages, and processes. There's steps, stages, and processes to it all.
Yes, we went to elementary school together. Is that Arlinda? We went to elementary and middle school together. That's my iron sharpens iron.
Hello, Arlinda, Dr. Arlinda. Dual City stand up.
Yes, honey.
But I will say this. So we have exhausted our time. I want to make sure I'm respectful of the time.
Yes.
Sherricka and I could go all day, but I will. So Sherricka, tell them where they can find you. Her goodness is not just last in this moment. It surpasses time. So please, Sherricka, tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on my website at www.sherrickacarpenterstanley.com, and that is SherrickaCarpenterStanley.com. Yes, did you see me? That's that CD code. Girlfriend, you don't know how many times I did cheers in the backyard. Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in high school and middle school.
You are not alone.
But yeah, that's my website. And I'm also on Facebook. Um, under author Sherricka Carpenter Stanley, and I'm on Instagram as Sherricka_author. So yeah, so there you go. You can find me in all those places.
So make sure you follow her. You know, she's doing amazing things every day. She has some amazing collaborations coming up. So just know that you are lucky to get in on the ground floor of the Sherricka Carpenter Stanley empire. She has
From
lots
your
of
mouth to
amazing
God's
things.
ears.
Amen. Look, I am a full supporter all
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Same here.
But
Same here.
Sherricka, thank you so much for coming on to Leadership Live. You have encouraged us today. We will bet on ourselves more in an impactful way because of your words today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dr. Renita.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, can you all believe we are wrapping up week 18 of Leadership Live? That means we are in the 18th week of 2021. But know that next Monday at 9 p.m., I'll be right back here with another amazing leader for week 19 of Leadership Live 2021. I thank you all so much for being here. If you watched it live, thank you for being here live. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you let us know that you were here with #replay. Make sure that you follow Sherricka, you follow me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ding that bell so you can get every episode live and or just catch up on all of the playlists of Leadership Live. And make sure you get some books.
Yeah.
You got 4 books to purchase, 2 from her, 2 from me. You can do this. Get them for yourself or get them for free. But know that I love you, love you, love you. And remember to always, always, always keep your leadership all the way live. See you next Monday, guys. Bye.
Good night.